YouTube friends and family, and welcome to today's edition of the Wellness Homesteader. So guess what, guys? Woohoo! I am all well. So I think that my Trulicity is finally worn off and I am feeling so much better. So with the last dose, I only really had one episode of extreme nausea, where I got sick. But that seems to be behind me, so knock on wood, on to brighter and better things. So I'm trying to concurrently film a week of Pantry Challenge meals or Three Rivers Challenge meals. So if some of the content is repetitious, let me apologize in advance. But this morning I thought, you know, I am out of fresh eggs. My little freeloaders. Honestly, guys, it's been so cold and snowy, and they haven't been able to free range because of the snow. 2 days they didn't even come out of their nighttime coop except for treats. They've been out a lot the last 2 days. Right now we're under freezing rain, but by Thursday it's going to be, I'm filming this on Tuesday, it's going to be like 50 something degrees. Welcome to winter in Ohio. So I thought, what can I make? I want to make something utilizing things out of my pantry, out of my freezer. And I have some frozen blueberries. Now, I love me some blueberries, but what I really wanted was a sugar sweetened blueberry coffee cake. And I'm like, no, you know what? I have stevia. I'm going to try to make a batch of lemon blueberry oat bread. So we'll use up some lemons that I had purchased, some almond milk that might be a little past its best by date, but it's fine. I smelled it. Some of my freeze-dried eggs. I have a lot of oatmeal, and I have a lot of pre-ground all-purpose flour. So yeah, let me go ahead and preheat my oven to 350, and then we'll get to making some lemon blueberry oat bread. I hope you'll stay tuned. All right, because my range oven is convection, if you hear a fan in the background, I decided to go 325, and I've only had my new range for like a year. Oh goodness, a piece of thread in there. How'd that happen? And I always wondered why, when you take out, there's a center divider that you have to take out to use the entire oven. Why, when you started that up, it automatically defaulted to 350, but when you just use the top oven, it only goes to 325, and I think that's because it cooks hotter. So I have sprayed my USA bread pan with just some EVOO. It doesn't impart a lot of taste. What this actually says is grease it well with butter in line with parchment paper. When you use the USA pans, because they're ribbed, I never have a problem with them sticking, so don't have to worry about that. So let's get started. So the first thing we need is 2 cups of AP flour. And I think, guys, now don't faint. I think I might have everything out. We will see. So let me fluff this up a little bit. You could certainly sift it. I love the look of these containers. I love the lettering that I pre-purchased that. I did not make that. What I don't like is you can't get anything bigger than a half cup down in there, but it works. They're really convenient for pantry storage. Okay, so there is our 2 cups of AP flour. I am sure that if you're gluten-free, that you could use gluten-free oats, and you could use like King Arthur cup for cup gluten-free flour. I do have some of that I'm probably going to use up, but not in this application. So the next thing we need is a cup of rolled oats. And as I was perusing my pantry, I'm debating on changing up how my pantry is organized. Pray for me, y'all. I was like, man, I have an entire 5-gallon bucket of rolled oats because I buy them in bulk from Azure. They are in a Gamma Stick bucket. I'm not worried about freshness, but you know, it's there to use. It's not there to just save. All right, the next thing is you need to add 1 cup of white sugar. Now, if you wanted to use like honey or maple syrup, that may be an issue because it may make your bread too liquidy. I'm gonna use stevia. And then this morning I was like, well, crud, I'm getting kind of low on stevia. So I will definitely be ready to grocery shop for certain things when I get to the end of the pantry challenge, because I wonder if this is gonna need 2 loaf pans. We'll see. And this is the granulated cup for cup stevia. I really like it in baked goods, y'all. Personally, I can't tell a huge difference between the two of sugar or the stevia. I'm hunting for my Danish whisk. Oh boy. Y'all, do y'all have a junk drawer? Because I do. Okay, it's right here. And sometimes it's right there and I just overlook it. Yeah. All right, here we go. Good grief. Now we need baking powder and baking soda and salt. So that will be our leavening agent. And y'all excuse me, yes, I'm wearing sweatpants. So we need 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. And y'all, I do buy the aluminum free baking powder. And so 1.5 teaspoons is actually 1/2 tablespoon. So let's do that. And I have a hard time finding it except through Azure. So if you weren't aware, aluminum and cooking in aluminum vessels is thought to be related, perhaps related to the development of dementia. So I try to avoid aluminum. We need 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And then this is just 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And when I just grabbed the Redmond. I do like that, y'all. I do like the Redmond salt, but I also like the pink Himalayan a lot too. To me, pink Himalayan is a lot saltier, so you can use less, so I like that aspect. But Redmond has a lot of minerals that are beneficial. Okay. Next, you're gonna add your blueberries. Now, if you don't, I don't care what my bread really looks like, in that if it's blue, that's fine with me. And that's just my oven preheated. I just want to make it kind of a generous cup because, oh, blueberry overboard. Oh well. If you toss them in your flour, and especially if you use them frozen, it does decrease a couple things. They don't turn to mush quite as badly, and they also don't color your bread as much if you don't want purple bread. I think purple bread's kind of cool. All right. Next, I need to make my eggs. So what I need here is 2 eggs. And y'all, I do vacuum seal each and every time. Let's see, 2 eggs would be 4 tablespoons of egg powder, and 4 tablespoons of water. Sometimes I have to add a little more water than what it says to add if you look up on freeze drying instructions, but that's okay. So let's add the 1, 2. I'm gonna give it an extra teaspoon. Just from my experience. And then I love, I'll link this below, the electric mason jar sealer. You know, you just sit that on there, push the go button, and it absolutely will re-vacuum seal your jar, and it'll re-vacuum it very well. So let me stir this up a little bit. Give it a second to kind of rehydrate. I'm just gonna get that off my very clean counter. And if you heard that go tink, it's now sealed. Okay, I don't know what I did with my ring, but that's okay. Maybe I didn't. Oh yeah, I did have a ring. All right. Now it says, in a glass liquid measuring cup, combine milk, oil, and eggs and mix with a fork to combine. So it is half a cup of oil. And you know what, you could use applesauce in place of the oil. I'm still doing okay on my avocado oil, so that's what I'm using, is just the Azure. Guys, this is tremendously delicious, and I credit this for the lowering of my blood sugar. Oh goodness. Next is 3/4 cup of milk, and again I'm using unsweetened vanilla almond milk. And then the final thing is to add your eggs. Yeah, I think the extra teaspoon of water really helps in making the egg more the consistency, less thick. All right. You know, this is really weird. They don't even talk about the lemon zest. So it says the zest of 2 lemons. Y'all, I don't want it that lemony, but I do want some lemon in it. If you have lemon essential oil, that is safe for consumption, not just body safe. It's safe for taking internally. You can use that as well. I didn't happen to have any 4011 essential oils, but no lemon. I have citrus, but that's not what I wanted. So this is a Farberware. I bought it at Walmart. I guess you would call it a microplane. Really works well for zesting, and you don't wear yourself out. I have a really old one that I swear I could have chewed it off faster than I would have zested. Oh, y'all, this smells like spring. And couldn't we all use a little bit of spring right now? I know so many of you have it way worse than what I have it. So what I will do with this lemon is I will go ahead and slice it up for putting in tea. So nothing will go to waste. Okay, now you want to pour your liquid into your dry, but you do not want to over mix. Just till everything is combined. Oh, y'all, this is gonna be good. And if you use milk and regular sugar, let me just tell you here, it makes 10 slices, so they're not huge servings. If you're cutting it into 10 pieces, it would be 321 calories, but this will be less because we don't have a cup of sugar, and you know, it would have been even better using the applesauce, but I didn't. And we also use almond milk, which has 30 calories in a cup versus, depending on the type of milk, a lot more. I'll just leave it at that. Okay. And I like using the Swedish dough hook because it doesn't mash up your berries so badly. All right, let's see how this looks in the pan. I have some little baking pans I could use if I need to. Some little mini loaves. But I think this will be okay, because this is a standard loaf pan. Oh, okay, got a little bit of dry in the bottom. Let's get that in there. Get in there. I said you get in there. Okay. Oops. All of my recipes have various blobs of ingredients on them. Oh, lordy, guys. Okay, there we go. So our batter's a little bit blue or purple, depending on how you want to look at it. But you do want to try to get it spread very evenly. And then into the oven we go for 50 to 55 minutes. Now my oven is fast, but I will let you know, and then we will slice this and do a taste test. And in the meantime, I'll get this kitchen mess cleaned up. So while our bread cools enough to take a taste test, I thought I would show you how much I've been able to empty down my freezer. So these veggies will be used in soup. This is for upcoming onion broth. I have some tonic, still have some frozen fruit, some black bean burgers. I think there's another veg down in here. Yes. So, and breadcrumbs. Some shrimp poppers, some leftover soup. So the freezer is starting to finally lighten up a little bit. A quick update on our heirloom lettuce. It's come up enough now. You can see there's some different varieties. There is some of the dark red edge. There's some really light green. I am so excited. And as it starts to come up, you can push these little paper prongs back so that the lettuce gets a good start. I have not had to add any water yet. This is day 13, so tomorrow will be the day to fertilize. So we're gonna have salad greens before long, y'all. Well, our bread didn't take nearly as long as, and again, I'm using a convection oven, but it was like maybe 45 minutes, certainly not 55. But let me tell you what, I've let it cool a little bit. It smells way more lemony than I thought it would. I'm really tickled. And I meant to say you could use lemon extract as well. So let's cut a piece. What do you say? Oh, okay. Well, it's really hot, y'all. It's not going to be a pretty piece. No thumbnail there. And if y'all wonder why I use paper plates and isn't that wasteful, I might wash my paper plates. Just saying. Let's take a taste. That was a little bit big of a taste, but oh my word. The top got nice and crunchy, and that could be because of the stevia. It also may have baked faster because I used almond milk and stevia. I'm guaranteeing you cannot tell that this was made with an artificial sweetener. Chock full of blueberries. Let's take a taste of the center. Y'all, this is definitely 2 thumbs up. Now, this was the busybaker.com or .ca. I will leave a link to the recipe in the description box below. So that wraps up week 3 of the pantry challenge. This will be eaten for some of my breakfasts week 4. Normally, y'all, I try to have protein. I think this would be good with you know, a little bacon or sausage on the side. Those are two meats I do like. Normally I eat eggs. My poor little girly girls haven't laid me any. I mean, I could certainly use the freeze-dried ones, and I already have, but I'm also out of tortillas. So I've decided they're not that hard to make. I might have ordered myself a tortilla press because I eat a lot of tortillas, and I also want to have some options for high protein ones without having to spend the money for the high end ones, because I eat a lot of wraps versus bread. I eat a lot of bread too. I'm a little thicker. One of my friends said to me, you know, if you would wear something like fitted, people would see, you know, that you've lost weight. And I'm like, yeah, I just don't like real clingy things. I don't like low cut things. You know, I'm most comfortable in some oversized clothing. So at any rate, I will see you all next week. I have a lot of fun planned for next week as well. We are supposed to get rain every day, including today, which is Tuesday, except for one, through the weekend. So, yeah, it'll be suck your shoes off muddy, or suck your muck boots off muddy in the backyard. But I'm hoping the girls, they don't mind the rain if it's fairly mild. I'm hoping they can get out and play and get their worms and just kind of get back to laying me some eggs. So I will see you next week. I appreciate your time today. If you would do me a big favor, go ahead and smash that like button. Don't forget to leave that comment. Any suggestions on the ways you would change up this bread to make it a healthier option? I'd love to hear. All right, guys, see you very soon. But until then, be healthy, be well, be blessed, and take care.